What is up, Charles Army? We're back here with another video. Today we're doing record predictions, NFL record prediction for 2021-2022 NFL season. Doing it for the NFC least this time, which they're not as bad as they were last year for me. And here's Adrian's if you guys want to peek at it. But we're gonna say them and say them more in depth. Two games each season that we're gonna highlight, just like we've done it before. If you guys haven't seen the other ones, go check them out. But of course, you can kind of cheat and check out the records for each division, except for the NFC West, which we haven't done yet, and we will do on the next episode, and then we'll do the playoffs. Anyway, I have first the football team, who won the division at 10-7, which I mean, yeah, it isn't the greatest record in the world, but it's a lot better than what was last year, 9-7. I don't know,
Those 7 and 9.
7-9. Okay,
I think so.
yeah,
It
way
would have been
worse.
8 and 8.
It's something in there. It's something in between there. Um, but it definitely is a better record than it was last year. As a football team are a lot better of a team than people think. Although
It
their
was 7 and 9,
logo,
by the way.
what was that?
It was 7 and 9.
Oh, it was. Um, but the football team win the division, pretty solid team. They got Fitzmagic at the helm, or should have Fitzmagic at the helm. Um, but 10-7 is pretty solid record. Anyway, highlights for their season. I'm gonna say first highlight is gonna be week 6. I think the Chiefs beat the football team. I think I highlighted this in the West. I'm not sure, but I feel like I have. Anyway, I'm gonna say it again. The Chiefs beat the football team. Chiefs are just better, generally a better team. More like a Super Bowl contender versus a divisional championship contender, I would say. I mean, definitely a playoff contender, but football team could definitely make it far in the playoffs. I don't think that they can make it to the Super Bowl yet. Not yet. Um, but Chiefs are just better. Pat Mahomes is going to get rattled like crazy, but he does have a new O line to help him out against the football team. Got a bunch of weapons, of course, and I think the Chiefs pull off the dub. And then another highlight I'm going to have going to be Week 12, which is another defensive stomping for the football team. I think the football team pulls off the win against the Seahawks in a really, really good game, and the Seahawks just kind of their O line can't do anything; they can't stop them, and football team pulls off the W due to the football team's D line. I keep saying football team so much, but Chase Young, Jonathan Allen, Montez Sweat, they're just too good. Can't really slow them down. If you slow down one of the guys, you can't slow down the other ones. But a lot of sacks, probably like 4+, I'd say, for that game. But big one for the football team.
I had the football team going 10-7 as well. I think they're a very underrated team. Either Fitzpatrick's going to be the quarterback, or Taylor Heineke, who had the late season success last year. I think Antonio Gibson is definitely going to progress. Terry McLaurin going to continue to be a beast, underrated as well. And then also can't forget the offseason addition of Curtis Samuel to help balance out that passing game. So passing game got better, young guys getting better, and you bring in an experienced veteran quarterback like Fitzpatrick, who's been able to do some pretty incredible things for his age and for the experience that he carries. And who knows, maybe we see Taylor Heineke come in and ball on the league again. Either way, I think the football team's a solid team, especially with that defense. Like Gavin said, D line just so crazy. Chase Young, Montez Sweat, Jonathan Allen, Deron Payne, Matthew Iadis, or whatever the heck his freaking name is. Um, and that team just they look solid. They look you know underrated as well. And I don't have the schedule in front of me as of right now, so I'm not gonna highlight any game specifically. But I will just talk about as my reasoning. I'll talk about some I'll talk about like the Heineke versus Fitzpatrick. Talk about like, the QB duel. I think that Fitzpatrick will end up starting in the beginning of the year. He'll probably pop off in the beginning of the year, get them a solid few dubs maybe, or just or just have good individual stats, in general. And then I think he will slowly transition into reverting to his normal form of play. And then Taylor Heineke will come in, start, and then give the team a rejuvenating new form of energy and success once again. Because Fitzpatrick, he kind of always does that. He starts out solid, does great, does amazing. I remember like the first few weeks at the Bucks when he was Fitzmagic with the beard, with the shirt, Deshaun Jackson shirt or whatever, no jacket with no undershirt, the chest hair out, the big beard out, and I think he's going to pull out the Fitzmagic for the first few weeks, ball out, and then revert back. And then Taylor Heinicke's going to come give the team some late season success, helping them finish with a solid 10-7 season.
All right, on to the next team. We have the Cowboys. Adrian has them going 9-8. Meanwhile, I have them going 8-9. So pretty close. I was so slow for a second there. I think the Cowboys have a bit of like a trendy season, I would say. As you can see here from week 4 to like week 10, basically just winning, 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 and that one loss in between. Um, but 8-9, pretty solid. I don't think Dak's 100%, and I think that's the reason why I'm not going to give them as many wins as they might deserve. I think that their ceiling's high. I think that their floor is also really low. So it really depends on Dak and Zeke. Those are the two that I'm really mainly focusing on. Their defense was horrible last year, and then they added in Micah Parsons, who I don't really get the pick because they already have good linebackers, Leighton Vander Esch, Jalen Smith. Um, but sure, why not? Um, but I think the keys are definitely Dak Prescott, Zeke Elliott. Can Zeke Elliott stop his fumbleitis from last season? And can Dak Prescott fully heal or at least somewhat recover to make himself viable this season and good this season for the Cowboys? But two games to highlight would have to be Week 5, Cowboys Giants. I think that they split their games this year. I think Giants win one, Cowboys win one. You can see in Week 5 and then Week 15. Um, but I think both teams are really good. I think if Cowboys play up, which I think they do in Week 5, especially at home in Dallas, I think they pull off the win here. I think both games are very much like one score, maybe 3 points, 7 points decides it. Could even be like a safety. I could see that being a thing, especially in the Giants game because the Giants has a tremendously better defense than the Cowboys do. But it's a pretty close game, really, really good rivals, and I think Adrian has said this multiple times, but divisional games are always different, and I think that definitely proves correct here as the Cowboys win that game. Another game to highlight would be Cowboys Vikings. I think these teams are really, really similar. Really, really talented teams. Couple old players in there, as we see on the Cowboys O line, and then we see with Vikings Kirk Cousins. Um, Also similar records, 7-10 and 8-9. But both coming off bye. Vikings are home in Minnesota, but I don't think the Cowboys care. I think the Cowboys win. I think Dak Prescott plays maybe one of his best games this season, as he kind of goes off in that Vikings defense and does pretty good. Um, Maybe you could expect like 3 pass touchdowns, probably even more. Maybe some rush yards, maybe a rushing touchdown. I don't really know. It's hard to predict, but I think he has one of his best games of the season against the Vikings, going into Minnesota, and I think it's a really really close game. Probably one score, just like I said with the Giants. Although it's going to be a high scoring game without a doubt, as Cowboys defense sucks. Vikings defense isn't as bad, I would say, but still not great at all. Um, and now up to Adrian with his 9-8 Cowboys record predictions.
I have the Cowboys going 9-8. I think that's pretty realistic, especially because the Cowboys they went 6-10 last year with a essentially bum Andy Dalton, no Dak. So now they have one extra game to play, and what seems to be a full season of Dak at least. And the second year for Mike McCarthy in the scheme, and getting more information on how he can run that offense and succeed with them. I think that will help the team make a big leap in his second year coaching, and then also, obviously Dak's recovery, Dak coming back, is going to help the Cowboys be back because Dak's back, Cowboys back, now they're on the attack, rhyme, and stuff like that. Um, Overall, I think the Dak was having like an MVP season until he got hurt, which is crazy to think about. And the Cowboys were on pace to have one of the best offenses, of all time potentially before he got hurt. They have CeeDee Lamb, they have Michael Gallup, they have Amari Cooper, they have Ezekiel Elliott, and they have Dak Prescott. An insanely talented offense that's kind of limited and handicapped by their defense. They've had the whole offseason, they've had the whole OTAs, they're gonna have the whole training camp and all of preseason to try to address any of those issues and help those be fixed a little bit, patch them up. I think the Cowboys are going to come out better than before, definitely better than before because they have their franchise guy back who's now locked into a big deal. And I think that, some games to highlight for them is going to be week 2 when the Chargers end up taking the W. I think Justin Herbert, Dak, like Gavin said, he said that he doesn't think Dak's going to be 100%. I don't think Dak's going to be 100% either, but more specifically in the beginning of the year. I think later on in the year he'll, kind of get a hang for things, feel better. But I think week 2, it'll be if he does end up playing, um, you know, it'll be kind of like he's handicapped a bit, not
Like
performing the way he usually
70%
does.
Dak
Yeah, and
type
I think the
thing.
Chargers are able to take a W because of that. And I'd also like to highlight the football team getting the W against the Cowboys. Like I said, football team is a great team, and Dak, especially their defensive line, Dak's gonna have that fear at least. A little bit of fear in his mind from what happened last season. And when he sees that pass rush coming on him over and over and over and over again, studs down there in Washington, I think it's gonna make him a little more hesitant. And overall, the football team will see how to pull out a game against their division rival, the Dallas Cowboys. But overall, Cowboys still finished with the 9-8 season, one game away from the football team.
And on to the next team, we have the New York Giants. Adrian has them going 5-12, and I have them going what 9-8. Yeah, just the only one that's actually different, I would say. I mean, Eagles, yes, slightly, but they are like the worst team in the division for both of us. And last year, I'm pretty sure they were also the worst team in the division. 99% sure on that. Don't fact check me. Crap, I didn't even click on the Giants. Okay, so Giants start off hot, 4 straight games with wins, and then get clapped by the Cowboys. But 9-8 season pretty good. Barely didn't make the best of the division. As did they beat the football team? Yeah, they did beat the football team. Okay, I just want to double check that. But um, some highlights for their season. I highlighted this in the NFC South, so I'm not going to highlight it if you guys go check out that video. I'll explain why the Giants win that game. But some highlights for their season. I'm gonna have to highlight one in the first couple weeks. Let's highlight week 1. Broncos Giants, two QBs that I think are kind of like make or break type QBs. Drew Lock, maybe Teddy Bridgewater playing here. And then Giants and Danny Dimes. Danny Dimes probably a little bit better than Drew Lock. I mean it's kind of iffy, but kind of make or break QBs here in week 1. And I think the Giants pull off the win. Although I don't think it's because of Danny Dimes. I think it's just better defense, better team in general. Pulls off the win, especially coming off that late season run that they had. The Giants. I think the Giants are doing pretty good here, and they continue with that run with a couple wins right off the bat, including the Broncos. Another game to highlight would have to be week 17, Giants Bears. Really good game. You're going to see a lot of Kalomak in this game. If you don't hear a lot of Kalomak, at me and let me know, because Kalomak's going to be on the attack. Probably a couple sacks for him. Should be able to get some edge rush on the Giants O line. And for the Giants, I don't really think that they can do too much about him. Double team him, triple team him, whatever you can. You can't slow him down. And Giants offensively have an okay day though. I think this game's maybe one score. Justin Fields is probably starting by this point. If not, I'd be surprised, but I mean it could definitely happen. Justin Fields probably starts like early though, I would say. Um but Justin Fields pulls off the win mainly due to his defense though, I would say, and probably the run game that keeps him going. Allen Robinson is still a weapon though, and keeps that Giants defense on hand. And yeah, that's basically it for the Giants season. Pretty moderate record, average, I would say. They could definitely have a higher ceiling. I could see them winning 11 games. I could also see them winning 6 games. So it kind of goes all over the place. I do not see them winning 5 games. Adrian, let's hear your explanation on that 5-win season.
5-win season for me, obviously, maybe a bit of a surprise to you guys, especially the Giants fans. That's just my personal opinion. I think that, Daniel Jones is kind of, I mean, this is kind of funny that Gavin said this because I was literally going to say it. I think Daniel Jones is kind of like a glorified Drew Lock in a way. I
Exactly.
think they're in similar
Yeah.
spots, they're similar skills, and both the guys are in kind of make or break years where they need to show some skill before the clock of their career basically runs out for their team. But the Giants did get Kenny Galladay, which I think will definitely improve their team. And that's one team that I said, like, I do think the Giants could be something that's, like, solid. I could see 9, I could see 8, 9. It's just that the way my predictions fell, the teams that I believe were going to do good and great, there had to be sacrifices to quote a Madden song. From Madden, like, what, 17, 16? Gotta be sacrifices. And I had to sacrifice basically the Giants to give them more of a loss approach, which I could see happening to, fit the teams that I think had a stronger chance of doing successful than them. So the pickup of Kenny Galladay definitely helps Daniel Jones, but I realistically see them going more so like 6-12 or 6-11 or 7-10, something like that. Oh, I just kind of had to make the moves how I had to make them to make them 5-11 based off the other teams that I wanted to succeed. That's me right there. But when it comes to the actual matchups, you know, highlighting two teams, two games that the Giants end up playing this season. For me, I would say look no further than the game against trying to think of who we can go with against the Chiefs. You guys say the Chiefs? Do you have them?
I didn't do the Chiefs now.
Okay. I'll say the Chiefs. I think that should be a pretty dominant game for the Chiefs. When you're walking against not too great of a team, and you're, if not the best team in the NFL, should be an interesting feeling for the Chiefs. And I think they're gonna be able to, come in and just clap the Giants. But they're up to the NFL. The Giants could pull it off, but at the end of the day, I do doubt it. I see the Giants taking a fat L here against one of the best teams in the NFL, and that would be quite the game to watch, quite the beating probably potentially. And the second game I'd like to highlight will be the Giants. I'd say Giants against or no, Gavin said Bearhead. Giants against Rams. Giants against Rams. Matthew Stafford, brand new quarterback. Some people say he's a Hall of Famer. Some people say he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league, which is kind of surprising. But he's just been supposedly wasted in Detroit. Now he gets his chance to show that he's a Hall of Fame quarterback, that he can succeed with, some solid receivers actually in LA. And I think that Matt Stafford play and those solid receivers helped them get the W against the G-men, the New York Giants. Overall, 5-12. Probably gonna get ripped to shreds in the comments for that section by Giants fan 247. But that's just something that I had to fit in basically. I'm not too high on the Giants, but I'm not too low, and I could see him going higher than that. Don't really see them going much lower than that. But that is my prediction for the New York Giants for the 2021 to 2022 season.
All right, now on to the Eagles, who Adrian has going 2-15, and I have them going 5-12. This one is a little bit different, just like the Giants, as I did change theirs around as I realized that the Giants and the Cowboys were a little overrated on mine, for at least my taste. But the Eagles kind of end out the season really well. 3 games out of 4 at the end of the season that they win, and they're all divisional as well. Um, but they start off pretty fine, I would say. And some highlights for their season. I'd have to say week two, Niners, Eagles. I think this is a clapping of the Eagles. I don't really think the Eagles can stop them other than stopping their D line because the Eagles have such a good O line, although they're gaining in age. So it could definitely change. But Niners beat them down, maybe two scores, three scores in this game. And then another one to highlight would be Panthers, Eagles. I think Panthers win this game. Both teams that are not very, very good, definitely the worst in their division, I would say. And Panthers just pull out the dub. Anyway, on to Adrian, who has them going 2-15.
Another team that I kind of slept on a bit, I guess, is the Eagles. But I kind of see the Eagles in tank mode, at least my opinion. They got Devontae Smith, which is a solid pickup, but that's not really going to fix your record for the most part. Receivers don't win championships 99% of the time. It's for quarterbacks and team units. So I kind of see them rebuilding, making moves to pick up some youth. I could even see them picking up a quarterback to replace Jalen Hurts if they think that's not the right direction to take. I don't know. I feel like the Giant or the Eagles, they're gonna have to deal with the whole Carson Wentz drama, and I feel like that's just gonna be, not the best thing to operate with, especially when you're trying to win games and put things behind yourself. But as 2-15, it's kind of rough. I think it could be better, but realistically, if I could write records out and like pick game by game, I would have put the Eagles at a solid 4-13. But I had to pick game by game, so we're gonna go with 2-15. Two games like to highlight. While I'm looking at it, I would like to end up highlighting. I can't even talk right now. Highlighting the New York Giants against the New York Jets. Week 13 battle of the New Yorks. Zach Wilson versus Daniel Jones. I think Zach Wilson comes out and has a very successful game. Rookie with the thing to prove on his shoulder. Prove that
Adrian,
he's not he. Yeah.
are you talking about Eagles, Jets?
Oh yeah. What the
We're
heck?
talking
Yeah,
about
yeah.
Eagles
Eagles.
here, bro.
Eagles. Jets. Jesus. God dang. Eagles, Jets. Jalen Hurts, kind of a rookie. I had the same idea in my head. That's the weird thing, but like it just came out as the Giants.
Yeah, we got you. We
Very
got you.
tired now too, guys. Not gonna lie. But Zach Wilson for the Jets against the Eagles. I feel like Jalen Hurts is almost like a rookie only because he started so late. That I feel like, to my opinion, he'd be considered more of a rookie because his experience level is not too high. And then obviously Zach Wilson's going to be a rookie next year, so I feel like it's going to be a battle of two young quarterbacks who are trying to make their name in the NFL, trying to keep the job, and I think that should be a fun game to watch. But overall, I do see Zach Wilson pulling out the W. But I don't know, I'm kind of stuck on Jalen Hurts. I don't really know what to think of him yet. I know he had a lot of success last year in like a few games, but I don't know. The NFL is so short term that like one bad offseason and you're done. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, sure enough, he could be great those two games, but that's what I'm saying. Like some of these record predictions, you're kind of screwed because you're taking it before the season without seeing how the players have adjusted over the offseason. So like, if Hurts does good, I could see the Eagles, actually going 7-10, maybe 8-9. But obviously, if Hurts sucks, lower down goes. So I'm not gonna have too high expectations for him because not just because I think he's bad, but because he's young. He's a young quarterback, so got a lot to learn. And especially with a new coach too, probably new playbook, new system, all that crap gonna be thrown at him. That should be interesting for him to see. But I see the Jets taking the W there, and I'd like to cover the Lions over the Eagles. That is the nail in the coffin for the Eagles for me. Because Gavin thinks the Lions gonna be trash. Another team we're split on. If you haven't seen that episode, check that one out. But I think the Lions are gonna pull up the W against the Eagles. Jared Goff, solid quarterback, got some experience under his belt. Limited weapons, kind of like an adverse. The Eagles love spending first round picks and receivers. The Lions, hate to surround their guys with talent for the most part. It seems, and that's why I think the Lions though will end up winning just because of the experience factor at the quarterback level. Jared Goff is a former Super Bowl quarterback. Believe it or not, it didn't even happen that long ago, and I think that's going to be enough to help the Lions get a W against the Philadelphia Eagles. 2-15, not the best record. Definitely, gonna get flamed in the comments by all the Eagles fans, but stand by what I said. And I mean, I could definitely see this one going a lot higher than it was, but like I said, it had to fit for the rest of my predictions to work.
Yeah, the Eagles do have a very like high area of like they could be. Like I
Yeah, it's
agree
like
with him.
potential
It
versus
could be
talent,
like 7 wins, and
talent
that could
versus
also be like
expectation.
1 win. So
Yeah,
I could really see any of this. He does have them going 2-15, which I was kind of surprised about. But like I said, like when I was writing mine, I had them like 2 wins at the beginning, and then I changed a couple because I thought the rest of the division was too good. Um, but anyway, that's it for the video. We got only one more division left, which is the NFC West, which you guys can kind of peek at here,
woo.
which is probably the best division in the NFL. As you can see, we have a massive disagreement on the Niners. Um, but yeah, it's gonna be the last one of this, and then we'll have the predictions of the actual playoffs. Of course, this was
And
done
then
on Playoff
tons of
Predictors.
NFL content coming out soon. Probably gonna do some award predictions, more Ravens specific stuff, and just more fun NFL stuff coming your way. Stay tuned for that, guys. Subscribe also. Check Kino helps us out a lot, and it just helps you keep up to date with our content. And Gavin, you can continue. Didn't mean to cut you off. Just had to.
Yeah, you're fine, man. You're fine. Check out the description, TikTok, Discord, all that stuff. We got a bunch of
Yes,
community
sir.
things. Um, shameless plug. And it's also YouTube, whatever. Um, but yeah, the NFC least is done. Um, Once again, his predictions here, and then here are mine. Flame us in the comments. Let us know what we did wrong. Let us know what we did right. And see you
Have a good
guys
day, guys.
next time. Peace.